So hello and welcome back to Test Drive Thursday. Today we are looking at this F12 and F16 mod. So let's get started by taking a look at all of the customization. So here we are inside the truck configurator. Now today we're looking at the F12 version of the mod. As I said, you can get the F16. Pretty much all the options are the same though, so there isn't too much point going in between. So starting off with the F12, as you can see, we got the sleeper old, sleeper new. You can see here slight difference of the placement. Depends which version you prefer. Sleep old plus spoiler. I mean, this is all really high quality work. I really do like this mod. I've tried it a few times now. Then you got the Globetrotter, which should, increases your ceiling height in here, and you get an extra bed, which is pretty cool. On the chassis, you can go down to a 4x2, which does look very boxy now, very short. And you got a 6x2 tag, which is very close to the arch, I have to say. And then you got the 6x4. So again, all up to you and what you need. Only two engine options for the F12. You've got the 385 and the 465. I mean, it puts out quite a lot of torque, over 2,600 Newton meters. This one's 2.1. So yeah, not too bad at all. In fact, they've put too many zeros if you look there, because that's what, 21,600 Newton meters. I don't think so. Two different gearboxes. You got the 12 speeds with or without retarder, with crawler facilities. Now this is the interior options. You can either got this black and then the light grey, or you can go for the tan cloth, which I don't mind actually. I think it works well with the black. Outside you've got all the usual sort of stock paint options here. I mean, these are very bright. You've got the custom colour, custom metallic, and you've also got this factory skin. As you can see, it's also changed to the F16 here. When you go for the, what was it? When you sort to, hang on. Oh, sorry. When you go to the F16, it's with the 465 or F12 385. That makes sense. 12 and 6. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. Got a bit confused there. Right, interiors. Again, up to you which you go for. Probably this one will be easier to keep clean, but I do like that. And it should show up on the outside. Yeah, it does. You can see it changing. So that's very nice. Down here, you can add a lower grille guard, which is pretty nice. This sort of plastic lip down here. It makes it look a little bit more sporty. You can paint that if you want. But I do think if you're maybe taking this off-road or something, you may not want to go for that at all, or go for the black look, as it'll probably be cheaper to replace in real life. And it is also just over 100, or just over £100 cheaper. And lots of different sort of bumpers to choose from. Iran style, don't really like them. Grey bumper, black bumper, but overall I do like the paint. Works best in my opinion. And you can even add a beacon there if you want, which doesn't quite fit. It's kind of a weird place to put lights. You can put it down here. That's weird. Never really seen that before. You can add some wipers to the lights, which I don't think operate, sadly. You've got the slots here for the lights, if you wish. I believe you can put the LED strobes in here, if I can find them. Or maybe not. I don't know where they've gone. Even put a Michelin man there. Up here you can change the colour of the grille, which is now covered in loads of dots. Again, where you can put lights. You've got this sort of white slat with black. Complete black, or you can go full paint. You can even add a nice edging, which works quite well with the badging in the logo on here. I do like the chrome. Up here you can add these badges over here. I'm not really sure what they are, but I think it looks a lot cleaner with just the Volvo. Sadly you can't just remove the Volvo altogether. I think it would look really clean otherwise. You can paint the sort of window frame here. I really prefer it black. I think it makes the truck look a little bit better, and it hides all these vents and handles much better than the white or the paint. You can add a chrome bit here, which I guess hides the... No, it doesn't really hide the wipers, does it? It's sort of transparent from this side, but you can't see in from here. Yeah, that's weird. I don't like that. I'm not sure what that is. I don't think that's meant to be on here. You can have coloured sun visors, which is pretty unique to this mod. Never really seen it anywhere else. So you can colour match it to the truck, or just have it... it's not quite black, it's actually green. You can remove it if you want. Up here is where you've got some free slots, so again you can put some beacons down the front if I can find them, which is pretty nicely placed, pretty good and well hidden. Then you've got some light options up there. Got some lights on the side which are preset. Change the horns, you can have them chrome if you want, or just sort of metal. I don't think they're paint matched, no they're not. And then you have got interior lights, which I don't think are working. Yeah, they're definitely not working. Further down you have got the door step, which you can't change. You can change the shape of the bottom of the door if you want to cover that up, or follow this around. I think I prefer that look if you're asking me. You can have a black wheel arch. You can paint this black. You can completely remove that if you want. So you can do this on a bit of a budget. It's quite a cheap truck actually. And then on the side you can add some different styling pieces with the Volvo logos. Not sure I really like that. With the tread plate, or just all full chrome, which I don't really like. You can remove that bar if you want. All the options for the wheels are standard, and then you can change the rear wheel arches. And when you go for this option here, the RAN style, you can add lights here in two different styles, old style and mid light. With the old style, I'm not exactly sure where the reversing lights are, so that is something to consider. You can add some straight pipes here, and then that is pretty much it for the exterior options. Onto the interior, you can change the wheel, a few different styles. You can insert wood on there if you want, all the cabin accessory stuff. Dashboard options, that's the chrome tape. You got a little sat nav up there because there isn't a built-in one. And yeah, that's pretty much it for the inside. So now I'm going to do a time lapse of me building this truck to my spec. Okay, so here we are, all fully spec'd up. I went for the F16 engine, so 2,650 Newton meters of torque, which is quite a lot. I've gone with the sort of black and chrome theme with the pipes on the side skirts, the chrome edging around the front, and I think it's came out pretty well. I do like it quite a lot. So if we get on the inside, you can see it's been raining. So let's turn on the ignition. I do like the backlighting on the lights. See that there? So all these sort of information sort of things are above. All your indicators there light up. The parking brake. When you're on high beam, that lights up. So it is all pretty nice. All the analog dials. No digital displays here like in the new Scania. Very small rev counter, very large speedo, which is pretty easy to read. You got a clock there. I don't think it might be accurate actually. Yeah, it is accurate. Does it work, that clock, which is pretty cool. Kind of difficult to see. You can see it's done 676,000 kilometers, which isn't quite that much really for a truck this age. You've got some aircon temps down there. Other than that, it is pretty basic in here. Wind up windows, manual gearbox. You've got the parking brake there, which operates. Very, very small bed at the back. That'd be pretty tight to get in. Other than that, it's really high quality. There's no sort of low textures pretty much anywhere, and that's the same on the outside. I do think it could be finished off a little bit better, a bit more refined as far as the model goes, but it's really sort of detailed. You see all the wiring down the front, which obviously wouldn't be as evident in real life, and you can also see, if you look through the grille, straight through that body piece there, which isn't quite right. So there are some little things that I don't like. The same with the sort of glare on the windows. You get that on the inside as well, up here, as you can see. And when you're driving away out of direct light, it's almost completely translucent, which is a bit annoying. But starting this thing up, you can sort of hear it sounds like a standard Volvo in the game, which has been slightly tweaked, the audio. The sort of lower revs, pretty much the same. It's a little bit more high pitched, but not too different. But I do have a trailer plugged in to the sat nav, which is very small there, the little portable one. So let's go and get that now. So again, the 465 engine. 12-speed gearbox with the retarder. I mean, it is pretty powerful, this engine. Where are we going? Just down here. Right, if I put it into what? 10th is that? Put my foot down. Look at this go. So yeah, it's not bad at all. Right then, so we've got a 20-ton trailer behind us. I think the black on black will look pretty nice. So let's hitch up to it. I do have advanced coupling turned on. The mirrors are quite small actually. They stick out quite far, but they are quite small. Bit of a shame. There we go. I've just got to get used to all my buttons on the G29 that I've started to use. I think it's... no, it's not that one. Is it that one? Yeah, there we go. Because all the buttons are on the wheel now, it's kind of confusing, but yeah, look at that. The black on the black looks really nice. So it shouldn't be such a long journey, this one. It's about 70 driving miles. There is a bit of a ferry on the end over to Poland. But we are away, so as I said, 20 tons, which would be about average in this game to expect. I mean, I'm in such a high gear now, 7th gear, and it's just pulling away from pretty much a standstill there. This engine has got so much torque. Look at this. It's really rather impressive. I do like the indicators, very sort of traditional. You can't really tell which indicator you got on though. We'd have to drive this truck for a while to get used to which one's which. But yeah, let's just drop down a gear. Red line is at 2,500 RPMs. Green zone goes up to about 1,900. It's not too bad. Obviously we got no sort of onboard and trip computer, so we got no idea of our fuel consumption and range. You have to go to the main menu for that. But saying that, the fuel gauge is pretty easy to read. I've got no idea if it lights up red when you're in or running empty. I have to drive the truck for a bit longer to learn that. Should be in, still in 11th gear. It's coming up to 50 miles an hour now. So let's turn on the cruise. I'm not actually sure if this truck would have cruise control. I'm going to say it probably wouldn't. So I'm going to just hold the truck there. Just over 80 kilometers an hour. And yeah, 12th gear, we're just underneath the eco zone, doing about 1,000 RPM. You've got that sort of background turbo sort of whistle sound, which can be a little bit drony if you're doing more long distances. But saying that, you probably wouldn't be doing that too much if you had this truck. You probably have this in like your garage somewhere that every so often you take out. I think I've talked about this before. It'd be cool if there was sort of truck shows that you could visit in the game. You can take your finest trucks. I mean, I'd take this. I think that'd be pretty cool. It's got triple wipers like a DAF, and if you notice, if you watch, the right one comes down sort of first. They're not all in line, which is very sort of cool. I do love that. The little details in this mod is pretty awesome. You're finding new ones all the time. I mean, I only just noticed that. So cool. And they cover a much bigger area than just a standard 2 wiper system that Volvo's use now. So I'm not sure why they didn't carry on with the 3 triple wiper. We probably can turn them onto sort of intermediate setting now. As the rain begins to stop, I believe we're going this way. Should see Stockholm on our left. You can also probably see a reflection on the windows, which is super annoying, and it doesn't help the FPS either. I mean, I usually do 100 FPS average in this game. I'm currently doing 70 to 75. Oh, it's coming up to 80 now. Probably because Stockholm's over there. I'll just tell you what it is when we get further down. Let's turn the wipers off. Oh, there we go. Yeah, so it's doing about 80 or so. So it is quite a bit of a drop, which isn't that welcome. So if you're sort of playing on a lower spec PC, that may become a little bit annoying. But yeah, I like how the lights they're not all LED. You can probably see them all sort of halogen lights have got that sort of almost warm white appearance. it's very smooth to drive this. The gearbox is nicely sort of ratioed, and it's not too loud like some of the old trucks in the game are. Definitely does feel a little bit top heavy when you go around the corners, but because of its sort of boxy design, it's easy to find places on the dash to line up with the road markings to keep it in lane. Okay, it's probably going to be hard to explain, but where the sort of dash piece is there, that right angle, I'm sort of lining it up like that to keep me in lane, if you see what I mean. So it's kind of useful, but it's definitely not very modern. I mean, there's so many right angles in here. Let's just slow it down. Gets up to speed really easily. Probably get yourself into a lot of trouble with speeding fines. So we're just coming up to the port now. I mean, in town driving, you know, it's still in 12th gear here. You can barely hear it. Just basically idling. So we should be just turning down here and getting on the ferry. So some things that I don't like about this mod. Again, I don't like all the sort of window reflections and glare that you get. You can probably see it over there now. Super annoying. Almost had an accident. I think the mirrors are a little bit small, but that isn't the sort of mod's fault. The visibility is really good, though. Very easy to place on the road. Let's head over here and let's get onto the ferry. Alright then, so we're in Poland now. So let's get going. I like how the Globetrotter lights up. That's pretty nice. It's pretty nice. So it's just a short hop over now. I can see the destination in the sat-nav, which is always a good sign. So yeah, definitely take a look at this mod if you haven't already. I've tried it a few times now. I always think it's fun to jump in older trucks every so often to compare them to the newer ones. I mean, this is such a contrast to the latest FH with all of its sort of curvy dashboard design, and then this boxy one. It's awesome to sort of see the revolution, or evolution, depends which way you look at it. But yeah, it's all 20 tons. I mean, 40, 50, 60. It's got so much power. Let's turn in here. Just trying to think of the best way to do this. So let's just come over here. There isn't any option for a front facing mirror, which is a bit annoying, but you do get that side one, but it is very small. It's very noisy from the outside. I think I've overcooked this one. Just straighten that up. I made a mess of that. There we go. So brake on, lights off, and everything is off. So if you have enjoyed that video, please do give me a like, subscribe for more, and hopefully I'll see you again soon. Goodbye.